welcome to the Deep Dive. So you pointed us towards a really interesting new historical novel, and yeah, we got curious.
You did.
Today, we're not just going to skim it. We want to really get into the author, Gaurav Garg, in his latest book, see what makes it so, compelling.
Exactly. The idea is to give you a proper feel for his storytelling style and this world he's built, like a little backstage pass before you decide whether to jump in.
Okay, sounds good. Let's start with the writer himself,
Yeah.
Gaurav Garg. Now, this isn't his first rodeo, not by a long shot.
No, definitely not.
We're talking over 100 published novels, fiction, nonfiction. That's some serious output.
It really is. I mean, that kind of volume, it doesn't just suggest he has a lot of ideas, right? It shows he connects with readers consistently across different kinds of writing.
Yeah, like a real understanding of how to keep people hooked.
Uh-huh. And that seems to be his reputation, doesn't it? A master storyteller.
That's what we hear. People talk about these immersive worlds he creates, characters you actually care about, and themes that stick with you.
Makes sense. And that reputation, well, it sets a really interesting stage for this new novel, Rebellion's Fire, A Spark of Liberty.
Right, the title alone tells you a lot. 1774 Massachusetts. Things are heating up.
Yeah, just before the revolution really explodes, the story, it starts with the coercive acts coming down hard.
And they hit our main character, Ethan Kincaid, personally. He's a young guy, a frontier trapper.
And his life gets totally disrupted. His brother's injured. His home is destroyed, apparently by forces linked to a Captain Thorne.
So that personal loss, that quest for maybe revenge, that's what pulls him into the bigger fight, the rebellion.
It's a smart way in, using that personal angle. And Ethan's skills, tracking, shooting, stuff he learned in the wilderness.
They suddenly have a new purpose.
Exactly, fighting for liberty. And we apparently see him right there in the thick of it, Lexington and Concord, Bunker Hill, those iconic early moments.
But it's not all just fighting on the front lines, is it? He gets involved in the intelligence side, too.
Yeah, seems so. Working under Josiah Bartlett for the Patriots, it gives you a look at those kind of hidden networks that were so important.
Which is crucial. And Garg doesn't just stick with Ethan's perspective.
No, he brings in another central character, Sarah Woodford. She's described as a sharp-witted seamstress in Boston.
Okay, so she's right there in the occupied city.
Right. And her job, being a seamstress, gives her access, lets her overhear things. She uses that to gather intelligence for the Patriots.
That sounds incredibly dangerous. Navigating occupied Boston, loyalist spies everywhere.
For sure. And she's part of a spy ring, apparently even connected to the famous Agent 355, feeding information directly to General Washington's efforts.
Wow, so it really emphasizes how everyday people, play these critical roles.
Definitely. And the scope of the novel sounds pretty huge. It's not just Boston or the early days.
It covers the whole war.
Seems like it. From the northern campaigns right down to the end to Yorktown, it's ambitious.
And weaving through all that history are Ethan and Sarah. Their stories intertwine.
Looks that way. They're up against external enemies, like this Captain Thorne character keeps popping up, but also internal struggles, betrayal, disillusionment, the sheer cost of war. It's not just about flags and battles.
Right, it sounds like it digs into the personal cost. Heroism, yeah, but also despair. Ordinary people doing extraordinary things, both on the battlefield and, in the shadows.
And apparently it's all grounded in some really meticulous historical research, which helps make it feel real immersive.
Well, given everything we've just talked about, Garg's track record, the premise, the characters, it's not really surprising the book's getting good reviews.
Yeah.
People seem to be loving the story and the historical detail.
Yeah, the buzz seems positive. So look, if this sounds like your kind of thing, if this deep dive has piqued your interest,
then you can grab Rebellion's Fire, A Spark of Liberty yourself. It's out there on Amazon worldwide.
And worth mentioning, if you're more of a listener, there's an audiobook version too. That one's on the Google Play Book Store.
So plenty of ways to experience it.
It seems like Gaurav Garg's delivered another really engaging trip into the past, a very personal look at a huge historical moment.
Absolutely. Which maybe leaves us with something to think about, Just consider the courage of ordinary individuals caught up in these massive events. How small actions, individual choices can actually end up shaping history. It's a powerful idea.